Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel. This is my first video to be uploaded to YouTube. The reason why I want to do this video is because I really do enjoy all the other XJWs who are uploading to YouTube. I really love their content. For some time now I've been watching those videos and I just want to add my 2 cents to the XJW community. So if you're watching this, Lloyd Evans, Cass, Sister Fister, JT, Lady C, Stop Shunning, XJW Analyzer, and all the other wonderful people that are doing what they're doing, keep up the good work. You're really doing great. So I wanted to talk today about my story of getting involved with the Jehovah's Witnesses. Spoiler alert, I don't really have a really, how you call it, dramatic story, really super exciting stuff to tell. But I still want to tell my story because it's important to let people know that they are not alone, actually. And they're not going crazy. There's more of us who had the same experience, although it may not always be very dramatical. So, yeah, I should start off by, I call it, by saying sorry for my horrible accent. I'm not a native speaker, as you may well have noticed, but I'm trying my best, so I will try my best not to talk too fast, as is usually my custom, so you will understand everything I'll be saying. To tell my story, we actually have to go back to 1966. My mother was born in 1966 in the eastern of Poland. She was born in witness because both her parents were Jehovah's Witnesses. My grandmother, she was born in as well, I guess, or she grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and my grandfather became a witness later on in his life, before he married my grandmother. I guess he got married in 1960 or something, and first my uncle was born in 1962, then my mother was born in 1966, and in 1970 my youngest uncles were born. They were twins. So my mom has got 3 brothers, and at the age of 16, I guess, she got baptized. So that must have been around 82. I really don't know what the situation was at the time in Poland, because obviously there was a post-1975 field prediction era. And as you know, the Jehovah's Witnesses have different cultures around the world. So the culture in the United States among witnesses is quite different from the one in Poland, for instance. I myself live in the Netherlands right now, and I've heard a lot of experiences from ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. For instance, about yard sales and that kind of stuff. And that the witnesses were warned not to buy stuff at yard sales because, I don't know, there might be some demons in it or whatever. And that really doesn't sound familiar at all to me, because in the Netherlands and in Poland we don't have yard sales per se. We have fairs, I guess, where you can buy secondhand stuff, and we have secondhand shops, but yard sales aren't a thing. So nobody talked about stuff that had demons inside of it or whatever. So that's one example of difference in culture. And I guess the witnesses in Poland, or at least where we came from, are more lenient, is the word, I guess, when it comes to the consumption of alcohol. Because alcohol is really a thing in Eastern Europe. There's a lot of vodka, beer and stuff. So I don't think people get counseled that fast on the consumption of alcohol, and that's not a problem, I guess, because once I was in a book study at my grandma's when I was there on holiday. And after the meeting, after the book study had ended, the book study conductor just put a bottle of vodka on the table, and we just we're doing shots and stuff. So it wasn't how we call it. We didn't get really drunk or something, but drinking is actually part of the culture. So they may differ in different cultures and countries. So my mom was baptized in 82, around that time. And I really don't know if she was pressured into getting baptized, but I guess it just was the custom to get baptized around that age. It wasn't that uncommon. And we should fast forward, I guess, to 8 years later. My mom went abroad to Greece with her older brother, and to work. And there she met my dad. Long story short, she came back a year later, I guess, pregnant, of course, which was quite a scandal because she lived in a small town, and as it's usual, the people gossip a lot in a small town, and everyone knows everything. Word gets around, and at that time, Poland was really Catholic, a Catholic country. It still is, but now people aren't really fanatics, I guess. Maybe in small villages they still are. And back in those days, you had a lot of hypocrisy that had to do with this religion. But people just, they just didn't mind, I guess, because it was okay to get pregnant, and but you just couldn't be a single mom or something. Most of the times, the couple got married, and the child was born after the marriage took place, after the wedding took place. So, well, in that way, people try to cover it up, but everyone knows when you're married one day and the kid's born 7 months after. The kid isn't the kid isn't born early or something, or too early. It's kind of obvious that the woman was pregnant already when he got married, but everyone's like hush hush about that. So I even heard of a wedding. I guess my mom went to this wedding. It was a neighbor's wedding, and the lady that got married, she was super pregnant, and she was, I guess she got married, and then a couple days later she gave birth to her daughter or son or whatever. So, that's actually what's happening. Oh, and people have a white dress in church, of course. So, as if. But the problem was actually that my dad wasn't interested in marrying my mother. So it actually became kind of a scandal. My mom was stigmatized, and I don't know if she was being shunned by her family at that time or by her friends, but she was disfellowshipped, and I really don't know what went down in sense of I call it the judicial committee, if they were asking her questions, intrusive or not intrusive. But she was disfellowshipped, and I don't think she really did mind at that time, because she wanted to have some time off from the organization, I guess, to get things in order and make up her mind and stuff. And I really didn't ask her a lot about that process, because I guess it must have been a painful chapter in her life, and I don't know, I don't really have a great relationship with my mom, so I don't know, it's kind of weird digging around in her past and stuff. Well, maybe I will be able to ask her sometime, but not at the moment. So my mom was disfellowshipped. She wasn't kicked out of the house or something, but she certainly didn't feel welcome anymore And as she explains it, her parents, they kind of wanted to get rid of her. So if she would just go away, then the shame would go away with her. And it's kind of sad because it's not the thing you're supposed to do as a parent if your daughter is in need of some help, you know. And my mom was still studying, though she wasn't a teen mom or something. She was 24 at the moment, at the time, and she didn't finish her study. So she took a break from that, a year or year and a half, to care for me. And afterwards she went back to school while my grandparents took care of me, actually. So she wasn't kicked out of the house or something, and my grandparents, as far as I know, weren't really devout Jehovah's Witnesses. They weren't going into field service very often, or at all, maybe. They were going to meetings, I guess. Yeah, I guess so, but they weren't really fanatics. Because they were farmers, and there was always a lot of work to do, in summertime at least, with the harvest and stuff. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I guess so. My mom had a friend in this village, and this friend started seeing a guy from the Netherlands. He was a truck driver. And this guy had a cousin. So my mom's friend, she started to play matchmaker, kind of. And that's how my mom got to know this cousin. And we moved to the Netherlands with him, and my mom got married. So that's how this guy became my stepdad. In 2001, my half-sister was born. But there was some time in between. I guess it must have been around 97, 98 maybe, that witnesses came knocking at our door. And my mom, I guess she accepted the Bible study and she came back into the organization. And she didn't make me go to the meetings or something, but out of my own curiosity, I actually went to the book study myself because I wanted to know what this was all about. Back then, there were the book studies at people's homes, so it was a very, how we call it, a cozy setting maybe, and kind of, not that hard to go to because people knew each other, and I befriended some people my age, and later on I started to study with my friend's mom. So my friend's mom and my friends did study with their mom. And wow, that didn't sound logical at all. Whatever. But we started to study out of the Paradise book. You Can Live Forever in a Paradise on Earth. It was called, I guess, the Red Book. In 2002, I guess. Later on, I studied with this lady who came knocking at our door, who made my mom come back to the organization. Studied out of the Young People Ask book, the blue book. We didn't go through all of the subjects because, as you may know, the book contains a lot of cringeworthy subjects, dealing with sexuality and super cringy stuff. So we didn't go through that, I guess. I can't remember if we did. I made some friends in the congregation. Not a lot, I guess. I went into field service, and not because I really wanted to, but because people asked me to come with them and be their field service partners, and I just couldn't say no. I guess I was in that age where you're kind of vulnerable, and it's kind of hard to say no, I don't want to, and people are expecting of you that you go into field service when you're a Jehovah's Witness. Later on, I don't know if I decided this myself or someone just gave me an idea. I want to become an unbaptized publisher. And at the moment, I guess I was studying with some neighbors who were Jehovah's Witnesses as well. They were a married couple without children, so I spent a lot of my time there. They were actually like my second parents, more cooler parents, I guess. And when I was on my way to becoming a baptized publisher, let me see, I guess I was around 17 maybe. And I guess a circuit overseer came to visit these people I was studying with, and at the time I was there as well. And we talked about some stuff, and I don't know, the thing I can remember is that we talked about how I didn't like the headship arrangement, I guess, and that the man is, or the husband is head of the wife, or I really don't know how it's in English actually. But it didn't sit well with me because, in my opinion, everyone is equal, right? A man isn't better than a woman, and the other way around is the same, right? So I'm all for equality, and that didn't sit right with me. But they kind of, I don't know, they kind of brushed it on the side, or how you call it. They brushed it away, like, it's not really that important or something. I don't know. They didn't really agree with me on the subject or something. Like, yeah, well, now we know the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses is super misogynistic and stuff. So, but later on, I started my higher education at university. I wasn't held back or something because my mom also had a higher education. So, she was fine with that. So I went to university, but it didn't work out. Psychology wasn't a thing for me, obviously. So after 3 months, I quit, and I started to work at this place. It was a factory where they make glasses for glasses. I call it lenses for glasses. And a lot of kids from my school worked there. So a lot of my peers, actually, not kids. And I started to work part-time, I guess, or, well, at least enough to gain some money, to earn some money, and it was a well-paid job, actually, for someone aged 17, 18, so there worked this guy worked there. I knew him from school, and in school we didn't really have a lot to do with each other or something, but he also quit his first study, so we're actually we're in the same situation, and I don't know, we got to know each other, and we started to hang out and stuff, and I don't know, there was a lot of chemistry and stuff between us, so we fell in love and stuff. I'm saying stuff a lot, right? I don't know. And one day, I was over at his place, and I guess the recording stops here, so you'll see what's next in the other part. So, well, I was talking about, yes, I stayed at this guy's place. We watched the Final Destination marathon, and when we realized it was getting kind of late, or maybe early, you can say, we decided to go home, or at least I decided to go home, and he would accompany me. So it was already light outside. It was 5:30, I guess. We said goodbye, and then I went inside, and my stepdad was already up, because he's a truck driver, so he had to be up very early, and he asked me where I was, or where I had been, and I told him, well, it's okay, because Mom told me to not go home by myself, and he just left. So I didn't come home alone. And he told my mom eventually, and my mom told that couple, the neighbors, about the situation, and they got kind of mad because the husband of the couple, he gave me this big rant about how it's not appropriate for me to be hanging out with a non-believer and stuff, and that I should break it off. And of course I didn't. So afterwards, I don't know if it was a couple of days later or a couple of weeks, I don't know, but an elder kind of called me into the back room after or before the meeting, and then he kind of ambushed me because he asked me if it's okay if brother so and so will be joining us. And I was like, what the hell? That's not kind of fair. Like 2 older guys and just me, you know. But they, I guess they asked me some questions. I really don't remember. I don't know if I just forgot it on purpose or just forgot it. I don't know. I really don't remember if they were asking any intrusive questions. But yeah. Moral of the story: I wasn't going to be an unbaptized publisher anymore, and actually I didn't care because, yeah, it's not that I wanted it really bad or something. Yeah, I was just doing it because it was kind of expected of me to take this next step, I guess. So later on in 2009, in September, I moved away from my parents' house because I started another study in another city, and actually I only went to that city, which I'm currently still living in. I only went there because my then boyfriend moved to the city as well, and I really didn't know what to study, so I just went with him, and well, in time I just figured out what I want to study, and we both started our second study. And the relationship didn't last, so after 2 years, we broke up, unfortunately. And in the beginning, I guess I went once or twice to the Kingdom Hall in this place, and I don't know, people already love bombed me, and it was just kind of cringy. I guess I went to the memorial once there, and then I went to the memorial a couple of times after that, in my mom's congregation. And last time I went to a memorial was in 2016. Because after that I actually didn't really believe anymore, or it just didn't have any meaning for me anymore, and I'm just not going to go to a religious, I call it, tradition or religious happening just to please my mom or other people, you know. Because every time I went to the memorial, people were love bombing me and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I just come here because for the sentiment or something. Because yeah, I was I don't know, maybe I wanted to please my mom, I don't know. But since then I never went to another Kingdom Hall anymore, and I don't miss it. I just really don't care for it, and I never made this decision of I'm not going anymore or something like that. I also didn't fade. I just stopped going, and I didn't feel need to go anymore. And my mom is still very in. My stepdad never became a witness. I guess once or twice he went to the circuit assembly, but he never really got interested or started a Bible study. And my family in Poland is, they are all in. Well, not all of them. My grandmother is still a Jehovah's Witness, though she never was a fanatic, as I told earlier on in this video. And she's now at the age of almost 89, so she's not really able to leave the home very easily. And both of my uncles are witnesses, but my uncle, my mother's oldest brother, he's not a witness. He lives in Canada though, with his family, and he never became a witness. So yeah, my extended family in Poland are Catholic. Not really fanatic, but still Catholic. So that's actually my story, and as I already warned you guys, it's not really an exciting story, but yeah, I just wanted to add this story to the many others, and I'm planning on doing a couple of other videos for now of me being related to them, or how you call it, not being related, but being involved with the organization, and yeah, I guess I need some inspiration. I'm not planning on doing the very into deep stuff about prophecies and the overlapping generation and all the other super intense stuff that, for example, John Cedars is talking about, and XJW Enlighter, it's called, I guess, John. Because I was never really on this search for the truth or something. At the moment, I guess I'm more agnostic. I mean, I really don't really believe in a God, but I'm open to different, how you call it, interpretations or suggestions. And in my time, during my time as a student, I joined the Christian Student Association, and I'm still involved with this association, though I'm not a student anymore. Like, since 5 years, I'm not a student anymore. But I'm still involved in this organization, and sometimes I participate in the activities that are organized. And they also organize some religious activities, like sing-ins, they're called. And for some time I went there, but now I just don't go there anymore because it's kind of weird to sing Christian songs while you're not a believer. But I do, each year I did join a, how it's called, it's more like Bible study group. And I was one of the few people that, I call it, initiated, I don't think that's the word, took initiative to set up this group for maybe non-believers, so we could talk about more social stuff, economic stuff, talk about the environment, so more, how you call it, I just can't find a word. More topics that are non-religious, more about society and stuff. So that's kind of cool. But I don't mind having discussions on religious topics, although I'm not really well read on biblical subjects, I guess. I know some stuff and some stories, but I always wanted to read some more in the Bible to have more knowledge about those stories when people want to talk with me about those subjects, but I never really got to it, so maybe I will one day. So that's actually my story. I hope you enjoyed it. I did enjoy telling my story on YouTube, so I don't know, I'm kind of nervous. I don't know what everyone will think about this, and the last thing I want to say is, currently I live in the Netherlands, and I don't think there is a XJW community here, apart from the Reclaimed Voices, which is an organization that deals with sex abuse victims. And gladly I'm not one of them, and I'm really happy that something like that exists for the victims of such abuse. So that's great. But it would be great as well to have this, I don't know, kind of forum or meetup group in the Netherlands, because the Netherlands, it's a really small country, so nobody's going to be traveling like 5 hours or whatever. I mean, from north to south is, I guess, maybe 4 hours by train, and by car it's even faster maybe. So it would be really cool to have a meetup. So if you're from the Netherlands, please leave a message so maybe we can figure something out. I don't know, it doesn't have to be this, how you call it, this talking meeting, like this AA meeting, right? That we all share our dramatic stories. It can be, but not necessarily. Just really cool to have this support around you, and just talk with people that went through similar experiences, and just understand what you've been going through. Because I have a lot of friends from, well, mostly Christian friends, but they really don't understand when I tell them that I kind of grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and they just think it's a cult, and I don't know, maybe they think the people that go door to door are kind of creepy or maybe friendly, but they don't have really a concept of what it's really like. And yeah, I don't know, I guess I need an XJW community here in the Netherlands, and it would be great, because I was looking on the internet for some meetup stuff here, but I didn't encounter any. So maybe there is one. Please let me know if you know of a meetup group, or maybe you've been talking to someone from the Netherlands who's having a hard time getting out of the religion, or just wants to talk. I gladly help everyone out if it's possible. I mean, I don't have my own horrible experience, so I really couldn't say that, oh, I know what you're going through, but I just want to be there for people. I just want to do something for the community. It would be great, because most of the meetups, if there are any, are in the US. And yeah, it would be great to set something up here in the Netherlands. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.